Have you ever noticed that some people become strange around you for no clear reason? They interrupt you more, downplay what you say, or suddenly act distant, even though you didn't do anything wrong. This isn't random. In psychology, people don't always react with aggression when they feel threatened. Most of the time, they react with subtle behaviors, quiet ones. In this video, we're not talking about confidence or dominance. We're talking about the invisible signals that show someone feels threatened by your presence, often without realizing it themselves. Sign 1. They try to control the conversation. When someone feels threatened, they often try to regain control through conversation. You'll notice they interrupt you, redirect topics, or speak over your points, not because they disagree, but because letting you finish feels uncomfortable to them. Carl Jung once wrote that people project their inner conflicts outward. When someone constantly controls dialogue around you, it's often their insecurity reacting to something you represent: clarity, confidence, or self-assurance they don't feel themselves. Sign 2. They downplay your achievements. Threatened people rarely confront directly. Instead, they minimize. You share an accomplishment, and suddenly it's not a big deal. Just luck, or anyone could do that. This isn't honesty, it's psychological defense. According to social comparison theory, people measure their worth against others. When your progress highlights their stagnation, the mind protects itself by shrinking your success rather than confronting their discomfort. Sign 3. They become uncomfortably competitive. Not all competition is healthy. When someone feels threatened, competition becomes reactive. They bring up their own stories immediately after you speak. They exaggerate wins. They subtly turn everything into a comparison. Nietzsche observed that insecurity often disguises itself as superiority. If someone constantly needs to prove themselves around you specifically, it's not confidence, it's pressure. Sign 4. They avoid giving you credit. Threatened people struggle to acknowledge others openly. You may notice your ideas being ignored, then repeated later by someone else and suddenly praised, or your contribution is mentioned without your name attached. This behavior isn't accidental. In organizational psychology, this is linked to status anxiety, the fear that recognizing others lowers one's own position. Silence, in this case, is a form of resistance. Sign 5. They act different when you're not around. One of the clearest signs is inconsistency. People who feel threatened often change behavior depending on whether you're present. They may speak confidently in groups, but go quiet around you. Or they're friendly alone, distant in public. This split behavior reveals inner tension. As Robert Greene notes in The Laws of Human Nature, people reveal their insecurities not through words, but through shifts in behavior they don't consciously control. Here's the important part. Being threatening doesn't mean being aggressive. Often, it simply means that you're grounded, observant, and not easily influenced. That alone can unsettle people who rely on control, validation, or comparison. The goal isn't to intimidate, it's to understand. Because once you recognize these signs, you stop taking them personally, and that's where real psychological strength begins.